Yes, people. Welcome back to another stream. The weekly panel show is back. We got Martin joining us. You got myself. You got Jordy Porty. I think Daps might be joining us at some stage. We'll have to see. He's off on his holidays and enjoying himself. He's more than welcome to join if he fancies it. But it's time to have the conversation. I didn't do a review on the weekend. I was out with friends and family, so I didn't do a review. But it's time we spoke about the Chelsea game. I saw a lot of meltdown. I've seen a lot of people unhappy. But we're going to break it down. We're going to get into it. Listen, there's nearly 100 people in the building already. Please do us a massive favor. Hit the like button on the stream. Subscribe if you're new around here. And as always, check out the Mancunian Way, Martin's channel, doing great things over there. Live tonight. We might put a redirect on this if Jordan can to Martin's next live. So, you know, you've got plenty of City content to look forward to this evening. Anyways, let's break it down. Let's get into it. Chelsea won. Manchester City won. Were you were at the game, I assume, Martin, were you?
Yeah. Don't know if I wanted to be. By the way, I can't wait. Colchester, Barnsley, get it all next season, aren't we? Oh no, we didn't get relegated, did we? Sorry.
No.
I'm just going off what I've been reading.
What let's talk about the actual match first before we talk about the reaction and meltdown. City's performance. Look, let's call a spade a spade. It was below par, but it kind of just felt like one of those days. Like, I got similar vibes to Nottingham Forest 1-1 last season, where, you know, we're creating chances, plenty of possession. We're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. And during the game, it's definitely frustrating. Was it like that for you in the stand?
Yeah. Funnily enough, I think is it 1 year to the day today, or 1 year on that day on Saturday. That's when we got the Forest result as well.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Sure, it was. If you go back, I'm sure it was virtually the same date. No, it was frustrating. But you know what was more frustrating is, listen, I don't think enough credit's been given to Chelsea. I think Poch set Chelsea up perfectly to play us.
Yeah.
Perfectly to play us, and it worked. There was too much of this, like we were just going to steamroll Chelsea 5-6-0 going on beforehand. And I said it'd be a difficult game. I thought it'd be a tough game. I did think we'd win. I thought we'd had enough, but we were garbage first half. We were garbage. There was only Edison for me came out with any credit in that whole game. And I don't even blame the players. I blame in the way it was set up, because you could see the way it was set up was wrong. And that's not having a go at the greatest manager of all time. That's just saying, you know, the greatest can make errors. And I think didn't even admit afterwards that he'd set up wrong or he made errors. But, you know, it was a frustrating game, because for me, that midfield was wrong. It was too compact. Everyone's trying to use each other's space. There was no cohesiveness with anybody. Phil Foden's just wasted out there. He's wasted out on that wing. And then the trouble is, Foden wants to come inside because that's naturally what his game is to come inside. Foden is not going to hit the byline and run down the line and put a ball in.
No.
So why put him on the wing? He's going to come inside. KDB then wants to occupy that space. Alvarez then wants that space. Akanji, I don't know what he's doing in the midfield the last few games, but he now wants to come in and occupy that space. It doesn't work. But it doesn't mean that these players are shit and we get them out the door. Just they don't work together in that system.
I actually agree. I agree with everything, but I think people take it that when we say something we don't like about the setup or the shape, it's you're sending shots at Pep Guardiola, and how dare you send shots at Pep Guardiola when it's just simply giving opinions. It's none of us ever suggesting we know more than Pep Guardiola or he should be doing as we say. It's
shut all the fan channels down if we're banned from opinions.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally just us saying what we see and what we feel, and it's just us sharing opinions. And the big one for me was the midfield. I think you're spot on. I thought, as you said, there's simply just no cohesion. And I want to start with Julian Alvarez, and I want to have a conversation about this because I'm just going to be open and honest. And I've been kind of gearing up with this sort of conversation for a while, but I'm at the point now. I'm just going to say it how I feel. I don't rate the guy in midfield, and that's not me saying I don't rate Julian Alvarez. I think as a number 9, work away. He's lethal in the box when he's in where he wants to be, which is right in front of the goal, in the 18-yard box, in the 6-yard box. The guy's in his natural habitat. But as a midfielder, Alvarez, it's not for him. His first touch is a bit off at times. He's not a creator. He doesn't want to create. He wants to be the finisher. He wants to have Foden and De Bruyne behind him, setting him up, not doing the vice versa. I would have much rather Bernardo Silva to be beside Kevin De Bruyne if you're going to put Foden out in the wing, or even a Mateo Kovacic, who's a natural midfielder. I just don't like the vibe. I just think he takes up space. He's caught between trying to be a striker, trying to be a number 10, trying to be a midfielder. He's not sure what his role is actually meant to be when he's out there. I think he's a really good footballer, but he's just, some players just aren't wired for certain positions. And I think Akanji as well. Like when John Stones is on the bench, why play Akanji in the John Stones role? We call it the John Stones role because John Stones does it so well. I don't think it's for Akanji. Once again, that's not me firing shots at Akanji. I think as an out-and-out defender, Akanji's really, really good. We saw that last season. Anywhere along the back four, left back, right back, centre half, Akanji was so solid. But this stepping into midfield business, it's a very complex role, and John Stones has proven that. So you can't just kind of put anybody in there. I mean, Jody Porty, bro, what are your opinions on the midfield? Alvarez for a starter.
I mean, like Martin said, I think Poch, basically this season, Poch has had our number a little bit. He has figured out a way to play against his Pep side. And the game reminded me of the first game, which is exactly what I didn't want. I thought the first game was like, right, we need to learn from this going into the second one. First game, no control. This game, again, absolutely no control in the midfield. I think Alvarez played the first game as well and kind of ghosted in that. I'm just not a big fan of, and we've said this plenty of times on loads of different videos, and I'm not just bashing Alvarez, and I'm not calling him shit because I think he's really good. And I think at the moment, though, it's just hard because when you got Haaland, Pep knows that Alvarez wants to be playing. And when you've got Haaland up top, the only place that Alvarez is getting this side is in that midfield spot, the one that's kind of next to Kev. It just, yesterday, and Mosa, I don't think it's right. I wouldn't be running it. Kovacic there was my kind of go-to option. I mean, we spoke about in our preview that we did. Kovacic was my go-to option with Foden out wide. I thought that'd help out Rodri in midfield, bring us a little bit more control. It's the safer bet. However, if you did want to take a little bit of a risk, I still wouldn't have gone with Alvarez. I personally would have had Foden in that midfield and had Bernardo out wide. Because then you've got, I know it's a Kevin Foden midfield. That's why it's more risky because you're going more at it. But neither. I never voted Alvarez to be that midfielder, so I knew when I seen the lineup, I was like, yeah, bit of a risk. Let's see how it runs. Pep obviously clearly knows best. Let's see what happens, and we didn't have any control again, and that's one of our biggest downfalls in all the games where we've lost or drawn this season. You can see we're not playing our own game. There's just no control from us, and that's why I always bang on about it. And yesterday was basically just a repeat of that.
Spot on. And it's not hate on Alvarez.
No, it's not. It's not his fault.
No. Thing is, Alvarez was phenomenal when KDB was out.
Oh, really good.
The trouble is, KDB's back.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this months ago on my own channel. What do you do when Haaland and KDB are back? Where does Alvarez go? And no one could answer me. And so I came up, I said, maybe on the right wing. And I know people didn't always agree with that. And I get it, it's opinions, it's football. But I was looking at Alvarez as a David Villa type of player. Go back and watch Villa for Barcelona. Came in off the wide, came in and scored. Did that for Argentina, did that for River Plate or wherever he was at. That's what he did. He wasn't a direct straight number 9 for them. Alvarez has never been a straight 9. He's like, the way I look at Alvarez, he's like a 9 and a 10 combined. He's like a 9.5. And I know there's no such thing, but he's not quite a straight. He's like the guy who plays in behind the striker, but more advanced than a 10. Because he's not going to put balls through like Kevin De Bruyne did forever. It's weird because you look when that midfield's not crowded. Look at the changes for Everton when we made them substitutes. KDB comes on, one ball through, Haaland, bang. Why? Because he's got space. He's got the freedom. It's not compact anymore. It's not rocket science. I understand people want directness and they want fast attacking football because they found the control boring. But go back to the first 20 minutes of Copenhagen. Some of the best football we've seen all season. Why? Because here's the weird thing. 90% of our squad are controlling footballers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not chaos.
Mm-hmm.
The 90% of our players are slowish, controlled footballers. As soon as the game speeds up, we're a little bit like, oh, look at the games where we've gone a bit quicker. Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea away, Chelsea at home. The evidence is there, ladies and gentlemen. Our midfield can't keep up. So I don't know. It's too much of what I don't know what Pep wants. This is my problem this season. I don't know what he wants. And by the way, we're 1,000% still winning the league.
Oh yeah. I don't know why
we're winning it still by about 5 or 6 points. It's February the 19th. We're winning this league, 1,000%.
I mean, as the league goes, it does make it very interesting. If we win our game in hand, we go to 56. Liverpool on 57, we'll be on 56, and Arsenal on 55, which is wild. That's a good running from him. Like, I mean, that's a good business end of the season for any neutral watching the Premier League. But I still think we're too close to the other two teams for them to be confident in us not winning it. I think like Pat Martin says there, I think we'll be 6 points clear, 7 points clear by the end of it. I don't see it being a last day of the season that we have to win the Prem again. Don't think it'll be that. I think we'll have wrapped it up by then.
I just think with the if you're looking at it from the wider context, like look, us as City fans, we've become so accustomed to such a high standard and winning so many games throughout the season. But what, that was game week 23, 23, 24. If you thought we were going to go right the way to 38 from now without dropping any points, you're batshit crazy. Like, you're batshit crazy. Like, that will be absolutely mental. And you're equally as crazy if you think either Liverpool or Arsenal are going to go from now to game week 38 without dropping any points. So the meltdown isn't necessary. There's no need to panic whatsoever. If there's one thing we've learned, lads, between all of our title races, it's that they take twists and turns. They take twists and turns when you least expect them as well. Just because Liverpool had a routine win against Brentford and Arsenal are found some very good form recently, doesn't mean that's them for the next 15 games. Do you know what I'm trying to say? One of them or both of them will go out against someone you least expect and drop a stinker and drop points, just like we did against Chelsea. That Chelsea performance was so much lower than what we'd seen over the last 10 games. I mean, you compare that to Burnley, Brentford, Spurs, Newcastle, these performances. It was one of those days for me. It was just simply one of those days where you'll create chances. I mean, Haaland himself could have scored 3, and we'll talk about Haaland. On another day, he does score 3. It just wasn't his day, and we may as well speak about him because I saw some of the reaction people to Erling Haaland's performance, and I thought, wow. The the disrespect and almost sense of entitlement from some people when it comes to this guy. Like, an unbelievable season last season, but if you expected him to come in again and do 52 goals, once again, you're batshit crazy. He's a striker who's just been out for 2 months. And look, I'm not making excuses for the guy, but he did just lose a grandparent a matter of days ago. That's going to be difficult for the guy. These things, he's human at the end of the day. And he knows himself. He'll know himself that he should have scored 1, 2, maybe 3. But the thing is with these elite players like Haaland is tomorrow night, you have a chance to rectify it. And he's going to be really determined to rectify it. I mean, Martin, I don't know, have you seen any reaction to Erling Haaland? We all know we're not going to put paver over the cracks. He was below par. But there is context to it.
I've been told sell him.
Oh.
Stupid, isn't it?
I don't know what. Listen, you just hit the nail on the head. He lost his grandma 3 days before. I know when my grandma died, I wasn't in the mood to do out for about a week. So mine 3 days later. And by the way, the club said to him, "Don't play." He chose to play. Maybe that was the wrong decision. Was Erling Haaland shit? Yeah. Does that make him a bad striker? No. Might see another reel on social media of all the chances that he's missed this season. My God. He's not going to score 50-plus goals year in, year out. You know, for a start off, personally, I think he's become a better player. He's got 6 assists this season already in all comps. He got 8 in total last season. 6 already. He's becoming a better all-round player.
You can see the. I don't want to say it's weird to say, but you can see the Harry Kane side of his game starting to come into it.
But who did Pep want first choice?
Exactly. Pep. As soon as you get Haaland, you know Pep's going to try and make him exactly like what Harry Kane's been like.
He's changing Haaland. He's changing Doku that nobody's noticing. He's changing Doku. This is what Pep's doing. Go back to my point of this 90% slow controlled football. It will change players. You've seen Doku now doing a lot of holding the ball up, passing backwards.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing that because he just fancies doing it. Doing it because he's been told to do that. Suddenly he stopped hitting the byline and putting balls across every 3 seconds because he's now learning, he's developing, he's maturing. We've got to stop this judging players in 6 months. Yeah, so Haaland scored 52 goals. Brilliant. If he scores 30 this season, does that make him crap? No. It just means that, you know, he scored 30 goals, had a very good season. 52 is not the norm. That was not normal what happened last season.
It's a freak season. It's a freak season, 100%.
That's the problem. It was like the treble. This is what gets with the treble. We won the treble, so the treble now becomes the norm year in, year out. Mm-hmm. No. Just because we can do it doesn't mean we're going to do it, and it doesn't mean we have a meltdown if we don't do it.
Do you know what, Martin? I saw a City fan on Twitter, and I won't name him, and he was tweeting a lot during the game, all just negative stuff, nothing beneficial to anybody. And one of them was something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm really losing faith that we're not going to win the treble this year, or that we're going to win the treble this year." I said, "You fucking what? Your expectation was to win the treble again. Have you lost your mind? Who do you think you are to be tweeting saying you're losing faith about winning the treble again? Trebles ain't normal. 52 goals a season ain't normal.
You've got to win 5-0 every week, treble every week. Got to win the Ballon d'Ors. Got to win everything.
Mate, you don't just willy-nilly win a treble. Do you know what I'm saying? That's absolutely bonkers. Like last season, what we experienced, it's not the normal. What we did last season is an alien season where we just hit a gear and a level that had genuinely only ever been done once before in 1999. Hasn't been done since. Why? Because it's extremely difficult to do. So many things have to go your way, like maybe not having Kevin De Bruyne out for 6 months, not having Erling Haaland out for 2 months. You have to have things go your way, and it just has to be perfect to so much capacity. So to say things like, I don't think we're going to win the treble again, I was just a bit like, is this the level where we're at now, where because we draw, bear in mind, we didn't lose. The big thing with games like this, lads, is if you see it's not going well, and you kind of know by halftime, an hour, that it's not your day. Get a point. Just don't lose.
Don't
Get a
lose.
point.
Yeah, just don't lose. Yeah.
Take something away from the game, so you're not coming in the next day licking your wounds after a loss. And at least you can go in and chat to each other and say, we know we were crap, but we still salvaged the point. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, didn't Rodri say something like that after the game? Was it Rodri or Bernardo? One of them said something like, it became a not lose. Get the goal, don't lose. And the scary thing is, we played utter crap and could have won it. Wouldn't have deserved it. It would have been total Dick Turpin. I know someone's going to, we had 31 shots. Listen, I say this again. Chelsea played very well.
Mm-hmm.
But we've suddenly got this arrogance that, unless they're not in the top 3 with us, we're playing some pub team, the dog and duck down the road. I see it when we concede goals now. But I get we concede stupid goals, but it's not a computer game. There are 2 teams on a football pitch. It's not musical statues. They're not going to stand still and just let us walk through them.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea were fighting for their... Chelsea have had a lot of crap thrown at them this season. So they've got a point to prove. And for as much as people can say everything they want about Chelsea, I saw 11 players playing for their manager on Saturday night. I didn't see a losing in the dressing room. I didn't see egos. I saw fight, and Potts just set up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I'm sick of making Conor Gallagher look like a world-class midfielder every time we walk up. He's crap every other week. Same with Brentford. Brentford played Liverpool, didn't they? And decided they were going to play like Prime Brazil for some weird reason and start playing out from the back. They won't do that tomorrow night.
No.
It's going to be 10-man ball.
They will be Prime Brazil and be Prime Brazil successfully.
I don't know. It's like every team come different when they play us because it's respectful now. We've earned that respect. Teams come to the Etihad the same way they used to go to the Swamp back in the day in the 90s. If they get a point, they're happy. I think we've just got to get off this. There's a little bit of self-entitled arrogance going on. And yet, I am old, and yet I am from the Main Road days. But I understand the club's changed. I know I'm the one who says City Artists is dead now for me. But I'm not going to lose my shit because we concede a goal. I'm sorry, I'm not. Edison made a mistake against Copenhagen. Sell him. Put Ortega in there. He was man of the match against Chelsea and saved us from being 2 or 3 down by half time. Oh, Edison. Can't be that shit. It just baffles me. Sorry, I'm going on a rant and it baffles me.
No, you listen. This is right. After those kind of games like Chelsea, you need to be able to vent and have a bit of therapy. This is a group therapy for people who need it. If people need to be told to calm down, you'll get it here. If people need to hear what they want to hear, they might hear what they want to hear. But there's 350 people in the building. Please make sure you've hit the like button on this stream. It really does help. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'm going to have a look at some of these super chats. Big up Bevo. My guy Bevo says, yes, lads, shocking result. We go again. Always free if there's a space on the panel. Bevo, I will shoot you a text at some point this week about organizing something. I know you've asked to come on before, but I don't think it's a shocking result. I think it's just, look, it's Premier League football, man. You know what I mean? To think you're going to win absolutely every single week, it's a bit of an expectation, isn't it?
It's a heavy one to think that you can just go on and win. That's what Pep will say as well. He'll say you can't win them all. Like,
didn't we win 12 games beforehand?
Yeah, something like that. 11. We went on. Was it 11 in a row? Yeah.
Today? Yeah. And by the way, big up Pep. First time I've seen him calling out a journal today. Pointed at him, actually called him out. I loved it. Basically, give Chelsea a bit more respect. We're not going to win the league 10 years on the bounce. Yeah. If you think we're going to win the league 10 years going, forget it. Honestly, go and watch the video. I think it's on your Twitter. It's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing.
It's now look, I gave Chelsea a lot of flack on the Big Six, plenty of it for just for entertainment value. It was because I was getting a bit bored of just saying I think we'll win, but not on a real one. Fair play to them, and they came up, as you said, they played a certain style that we struggle against. In the Etihad, it's proven to be a potentially successful formula. Low block, hit us with pace in the counter, and you can cause City damage. We're not indestructible. Like the goal we conceded was poorly positioned players in the defensive shape. Kyle Walker was totally out of position, or where
Kyle Walker, a
the way he
stinker.
should have been. Yeah. So look, credit to Poch, credit to Chelsea. They got a point in the most difficult venue in the country. So it is what it is. Dr. Footy here with the 20 months. Martin Churchill, give a battle cry. We are dusted out here, Bray. We need some motivation as we charge for the treble to Valhalla.
Churchill battle cry.
Oh no, Churchill battle cry of Valhalla. Are we dead?
I know what's going on.
Told you we'll win the league. Don't care. Listen, don't care. Arsenal and Liverpool are brilliant football teams, but they're not us. Said this, that. No, in our dressing room is nobody's won 4 in a row. That's there for a reason. These players know that they can be made. And by the way, if we win 4 in a row, great. I then don't want, we've got to win 5 in a row. We are allowed a year at some point where we're just going to dip for a year. You know, I'm not saying, you know, we could go on and win 5, 6, 7 in a row. Great. But, you know, I'm not expecting it. That's all I'm saying. Listen, fans react very differently. I understand that. But what we've got to understand is what we're witnessing right now is something that no other team in English football even has. Don't care. I've had this earlier on with the United fan. No other team's done what we're doing since Pep Guardiola's been in charge. Nobody's done 100 points. Nobody's done a domestic quad. Nobody's won every major trophy in 6 months. Nobody's done it with the smallest squad possible while bringing in youngsters. Nobody's done what we are doing. And we will, I've said this for years, we will never understand what we're watching until Pep is gone. Because I'll tell you what, then some City fans will have something to moan about.
Yeah.
Then we'll go back to normality then. Because what we're watching right now ain't normal. It ain't
then
normal.
you'll really lose faith about winning a treble.
You know, it's like the multiverse what we're watching right now.
Yeah.
And look, if that season that you're talking about where we don't win a league, you know, where you're allowed to not win a league or a Champions League, believe it or not, is to be this season, that's also perfectly fine as well, if you ask me, because of what we've done and how far we've come. Like I was on I did that show for CBS last week, and one of the people on the panel asked me, if you don't win a major trophy this season, the Champions League or Premier League, is it deemed a failure? I think he was potentially hoping I'd say, yeah, not good enough if we don't win Champions League or Premier League. It's, you know, get him out, send him back to Barcelona. We don't want Pep anymore. I said, no. How on earth could any of us in our right minds turn around after not winning a major trophy this season, but experience the treble, experience the 3 in a row, experience the 2 before that, experience the 100 points, experience the formidables, all of a sudden, because we didn't win a 4th in a row or a Champions League back-to-back, start deeming things failures. Like, there's such a wider context to it. And I do my best to try and not be entitled, because that's not what we want to be, is it? Big up Dr. Footy for the 20 months. Amar with £2 says Julian Solanke needs to play in his natural role. For you guys, is it as simple as Alvarez needs to just play where he's best suited, which is probably in the number 9 role? But of course, there is the complexion of you kind of have Erling Haaland there as well.
I just think going back to the way, and he might not like that though, because I get, but then is he really enjoying playing in the midfield? I don't really know. But for me, I'd be putting him in rotation with Haaland, in the sense of get Haaland off after 50, 60 minutes in games, bring on Julian Alvarez for something different. If Haaland's already scored 2 by that point, you know what I mean, you can switch it. I just think games like, and then if you want to go all out in some games and you need another striker on the pitch, then you can go with Alvarez and push him a bit further up, go with a bit more risky football. But I just wouldn't be relying on Alvarez to be that, but to be Gundogan, to be that midfielder, because he's not it. He's not it. He doesn't have that presence in midfield that we need.
No.
What do you reckon, Martin? Where would you like to see Alvarez the most?
I think it depends on the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm honest, if you go to Anfield away, I wouldn't play Alvarez full stop. I would go with the 11 that played against Copenhagen.
So would I.
If you're playing a different... See, there's the thing. It's not Alvarez. I don't think you could play Alvarez, Foden, and KDB together. If you look at that midfield, when we played, I know KDB wasn't there, but when we played Alvarez, Foden, and Akanji as a 3 with Rodri, I think it was Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, and sat there. We've either drawn or lost. We've never won with that midfield.
The thing for me is Akanji does have an issue in there in that system as well. John Stones brings you a bit more surety in that when he pushes forward into midfield, and I think Rodri trusts Stones to like take his spot. I think you pointed this out quite a few months back, Martin, when Rodri and Kovacic, when them two play together, Kovacic does actually slot into the 6 quite a bit and let Rodri go forward. They basically kind of rotate on that. When Kovacic went through that bad period and his bad period at City, I think then that was during the time of he didn't really know where to be. But then now he proper understood it. Like the Spurs game, like you can see he just likes slotting into that 6 role, helping Rodri out. Whereas the other day, you've got Akanji there. Obviously, you're playing Alvarez. He's not going to do that. So then it's just Rodri. If Rodri wants to go forward, Akanji's got to push forward into that midfield bit. And he's not good enough to do that to the level that we need him to be yet. So I feel like he becomes an issue in that whole system as well. I feel like if you have John Stones in there, it does offer just more surety. That's just one simple fix. Yeah. Like for me, that he's one of the changes that I would have had a John Stones in there over Akanji. But I just think...
Is he... All right, I'll put it... Is he confident John Stones can play 3 games in or 4? It would have been 4 games, wasn't it? Or something
4, yeah.
Like a week. Does he think he can do that? I don't know. I mean, personally, I'd have played Nunes because I don't think Kovacic was fully fit. I think he's just coming back. I think Nunes would have been the guy. Honestly, or an even better swap Phil and Alvarez around.
Yeah.
You are not going to lose anything, at least giving it a go. Trying it. Because Pep knew it wasn't working, because who came off for Bernardo?
Was it Alvarez actually who came off for Bernardo? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the first change, wasn't it?
There you go. First change in 60-odd minutes. Or was it 57 minutes? Sure, it was Alvarez off for Bernardo.
Yeah, I think it was.
And then what happened? We got more space. That's when we started creating all the chances again. So I don't know. Was Bernardo not fully fit to do the 90? I don't know. The trouble is we're not in the camp. We don't know. Because let's be straight. Anytime Alvarez can walk into any Premier League team in this country and be number 1. He'd probably walk into most European teams and be number 1. We're just very blessed that we've got Alvarez and Haaland as our 2 strikers. It's difficult. He's been so, but you don't want to ditch Alvarez out the door because he has been phenomenal. But he's not a midfielder because, like you said, he's got to learn on his first touch. I mean, the worst I saw it was Villa, but again, that's not me having a go at him. That's just it's like the Doku thing. You can't say anything wrong against Doku, but people forget he's 21. He's a kid. Same with Gvardiol.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much expectation on these players straight away. And if that was the case, Rodri would have been gone in his first season. John Stones was a bag of shit in his first season, if anyone remembers.
Yeah.
Go back to the Leicester City game at the King Power. John Stones gifting the ball straight to Vardy, I think it was. And, Sterling wasn't great. Bernardo wasn't great. None of these players, Grealish wasn't great. None of these players would be here now if we give them all 6 months. Gundogan was known as Gunderslow, but everyone's forgotten that part because they're only remembering the recency bias. But Gundogan was not world class when he first turned up. I think we just got to relax a little bit.
Yeah,
I do. I'm seeing it with Savio. He's going to be world class. You don't know.
There's so much riding on people that they put. We're making our own pressure. these players that we don't really need to.
We don't need pressure from rivals. We put it on ourselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
LB 1998, bin this 4-1-4-1 off and go back to the 3-2-4-1. Look, I think from the comments that you've seen from Pep and from some of the players following the game, I think they're kind of aware without saying it out and out that they probably should have done some things differently. Is that a sign to say that he will revert back to something we know better, or he will change personnel? I don't know. We're going to have to wait till tomorrow night. I'm going to leave the remaining 2 or 3 super chats till after we talk a bit about Brentford. I want to chat a bit about Brentford, move into that a bit, because it's obviously, look, for me, it's a great thing that we have a game in the league tomorrow night, because there's nothing worse than after you drop points. It feels like a loss in a title race, of course, but after you drop points, there's nothing worse than waiting a week, 10 days to your next league game and sitting on that result. It's great that we have the opportunity to go out tomorrow and rectify it with hopefully a good performance. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the reaction from City. I'd like to think there'll be a bit of anger because they all know they're below par. I'm looking forward to seeing Haaland. I'm looking forward to seeing whoever. Jordy, bro, how do you feel about this one? It's Brentford at home. Obviously, they're not playing great these days. We beat them recently, but they do have form in the Etihad.
Yeah, I still back us. Especially, I thought the away leg would be the one that was the more difficult of the two. Obviously, what would we only scored 1 goal in their stadium, or we hadn't scored in it. Anyway, all last season we didn't. I thought the away leg would be the more difficult. I think we'll have too much from, and I imagine City will be kind of wanting a bounce back because they'll have seen all the media, they'll have seen their fans, some of these fans losing their head on Twitter, things like that. And then you could see the players after the match were disappointed, proper disappointed. Or like, it felt like a loss to City. So it felt like a loss to fans, felt like a loss to the players. They'll want to bounce back straight away from that. So I'm confident tomorrow night. I hope we see a positive impact from that result. Because sometimes, you know what I mean, it's like the poking the bear thing, innit? Sometimes some teams face you on days where Brentford probably look at it going, I wish Chelsea wouldn't have got that point there, because they know that City are going to be well up for this now. So I'm hoping tomorrow it's a confident performance. Hopefully maybe a little bit of control would be nice. You know what I mean? Sprinkle a bit of control in a football match. I love it, mate. When I see some pause tomorrow, I'll be buzzing, mate. I'll love it. I'll absolutely love it.
It's there needs to be a reaction. There needs to be a reaction, and maybe the Chelsea game is a bit of a kick up the arse that we might have needed, just to remind us that we're in this title race and we have to get back on form. Martin, how do you feel about this one? I assume you're going, eh?
Yeah, no, I'll be there, mate. I hate doing predictions because
I won't do score predictions.
No, I don't mean that. No, because part of me does think we'll have a little bit of the wounded animal tomorrow.
Yeah,
I really do. I think the 11 will change. And I just think tomorrow, if we were playing up to garbage and struggling, because listen, it was a tactical issue on Saturday that made us play bad, not because we're in bad form. That's the point I'm trying to make, is people are talking like we're in bad form. It was just tactically wrong, which made us look a bit bad. But even the second half, we weren't great and could have scored 3 or 4 goals.
I said we had 31, over 30 shots, or whatever it was, 31 shots, something like that. Like
32, yeah.
Listen, Brentford are going to do what we know they're going to do. They'll park the ball over the top to Tona. Don't think you're going to get Brentford that you saw at the G-Tech on Saturday. You ain't getting that. Their goal is not going to start rolling the ball out to their centre backs. No chance he does that. I'll be so shocked if he does that. But I think John Stones was rested for a reason. But the trouble is, Doku, and it isn't trouble. Doku's going to play, which I'm fine with, because obviously we know Grealish. I don't think Alvarez will play tomorrow.
I don't think Alvarez plays tomorrow. I think you're more likely going to see like a...
I think you'll see Foden in the middle, Bernardo out on the right.
Yeah, that's what I see as well. I'd love that.
Just personally, I think it gives us, and then it gives KDB a bit more room because Bernardo won't come in as much. Bernardo will stay a little bit wide. The only thing I can't decide on whether he'll put a Kanji to right back and maybe take Walker out of spotlight.
Yeah. I mean, what do we think about the balance? I see a lot of people talking about Jeremy Doku after the Chelsea game. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say Doku covered himself in glory, but with all these things, there is context to it. You know, he's a young lad. He's 21. He's only here, 6 months? He's got a lot of learning to do. It's obvious. You only have to watch him to know he's still got a lot of learning to do. But, I mean, Martin listed off a load of players that in their first seasons didn't cover themselves in glory. And another one was Mahrez, was a winger. If you remember Mahrez' first season, we'd signed him for 60 million from Leicester, and he was a bit quiet. He didn't look like the Mahrez of Leicester when he came to Manchester City, and then boom, kind of second season he kicked on.
And he got shit off fans. I remember.
Yeah, a lot of shit. A lot of
crap. And it was, and then when he was leaving, everyone was like, "No."
Yeah, everyone's at his feet.
The thing is with Doku, do you know the problem with Doku is not Doku? It's the Doku fanboys. And they know who they are. I don't mean that in any disrespect. They know who they are. Because we were jokes. We nicknamed him Doku Mesa. Because that's who I thought we were buying after his first game. Because some fans have got this hype Doku up so much, but destroy Jack in the process. Instead of just going, the different players, we've got two separate options. We can play different ways. Instead of being hyped about having two different options and having a plan A and a plan B, we're talking like Doku was the next Messi. Now he's a load of crap. Jack was a load of crap at the beginning. Now everyone wants Jack in. Can't do that. You can't rinse players down in the gutter and then try and bring them back 6 months later. He's 21. He played less than 1,000 minutes for Rennes or whatever it was last season. Like I said, I don't think Doku probably would have played as many minutes as he would have done. But you're seeing his game develop.
Mm-hmm.
He's not hitting the byline anymore and just putting it across. Because the problem is, there's only Haaland who can keep up with him. You name me a midfielder that's going to keep up with Doku when he goes flying down that wing. Nobody. So what's the point in him flying down the wing? Because he's got to hold the ball up anyway.
Yeah, it's almost disjointed, isn't it? Like, because he's going to have to wait for everyone to turn up.
It's not that he's not, Doku's not good enough. Doku's not ready. He's 21.
Yeah, he needs to get a guy time, man. I've got all the time in the world for him as well, man. I think he's going to do really well at City. Wingers, typically wingers as well, struggle in a Pep side. Most of the wingers that Pep's signed have struggled. Like you've got, and then Doku, I don't think has had a shit first season so far, and I don't think he'll have a shit rest of the season. Do I think he's got a lot of learning to do? Yeah, but who doesn't? Who's when they're 21 years old in a Pep side? Honestly, I think the guy's got talent, and I think he'll do really well, really well.
Yeah, I mean it's mad. It's mad how you look at it because people have a few good games and then the world beat us.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the radio earlier and talking about Kobe Manu becoming the next England superstar. I said, he's played 11 games. Jesus.
It goes back into making more pressure for players.
They're putting him on Jude Bellingham level.
Yeah.
So the same with Oscar Bob. Do you remember Oscar Bob when we played Tottenham? He was at Tottenham and Newcastle. And everyone's like, get him in. Like, he's a kid. Relax. Oscar Bob's 2021. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think we've just got to get off every player's back and support them. Said this on so many of your shows. We've got to stop this. My favourite's better than your favourite. None of the players care what us think about them. They're not sat there going, oh, yeah, Hugh off City Extra's we're going to go and have a drink because he's telling me I'm amazing. Come on. I don't get this fan club bit. I'm using you as an example, by the way. I'm not saying you is,
yeah.
He's writing full letters to say.
They just don't care about my opinions.
Some fans talk like they're personally friends with the players.
Mm-hmm.
My boy, he's not your boy. It's Manchester City's boy. I don't get it. It baffles me so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got a bit to learn. Be patient with him. It is what it is. We'll see tomorrow night. I'll be interested to see does he start tomorrow night. We got Sam here with the 37 months. Relax the squad, know how to get the job done. People in meltdown, come back in May and eat your words. City till I die.
Right.
You're very much reading off the same hymn sheet as ourselves, Sam. Big up for the 37 months, man. You've been here quite some time. Linny with 6 months, halfway to a year. Linny says, "Hey, we've been in worse positions than this with 14 games to go. Not as bad as it seems. Last February wasn't great. If you remember last February was actually when we got the charges and we lost to Tottenham away. We had on with Nottingham Forest. This February is by all.
We're 8 points behind at this point last year.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like we're well up there with the others. If you want to write us off, then that's your own problem because we'll see you in May.
Yeah.
Well,
let them write us off because listen, I've seen so many Liverpool and Arsenal fans think the title's over.
Yeah,
I've never let them think it. I find it hilarious.
Jack Rain here says, Hugh, good luck on the 6th tonight. Stand tall and firm. Yeah,
you're in for a cooking tonight, Hugh. You give it big and live by the sword, die by the sword, mate.
By the way, on that 18th of February 2023, we drew one each. We drew one each at Forest. 24 games played, goal difference 36. And we were 2 points behind Arsenal, and we'd played a game more.
Wow. So they have opportunities to go 5 points clear then, if they won their game in hand.
And we're currently now 24 games, 53 points, and we can go a point behind Liverpool if we win tomorrow.
See, calmer.
Crisis.
Yeah, calmer.
Yeah, Jack. Look, the thing is with the big six, right? Too many people are afraid of getting cooked. So for every preview, everyone's like, "Oh, we should win. I think we'll win." I live by the sword, die by the sword. I stuck my chest out. I said I want to batter Chelsea. I went for it. It's come back to bite me in the arse. It is what it is. I'll take my licks. But listen,
1 draw in 12. Ooh.
But what I'll have to say is, some of the lads who are going to try cook me tonight need to be careful. They need to be careful because they need to remember who we are and what you're trying to cook. You're going to try to cook Manchester City for just drawing at home to Chelsea. Mate, we're treble champions right now, and we're still in the running for everything right now, aren't we? Except the Carabao Cup. So, listen, everybody in the chat, come and support me tonight, man. I'm going to need it. I'm going to have a lot of people paying for blood, so please come and support me. Right. Big up, Jack. Big up, Jack. Professional L Coat Man. Look at that for a profile picture.
He's got me in the coat now. Rather than it just being a picture of the coat, he's got me now in the coat.
I want to know why you're posing like for in person. I mean,
I know I'm proper. Yeah, there's.
Hopefully our robot will get rid of the Andy Carroll virus. Pep sometimes needs to rub his bald head and not put Alvarez in midfield. I agree with the Alvarez in midfield thing. And look, with Haaland, you have to understand the context of the situation.
I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's that.
No, I don't think he's Andy
Someone
Carroll.
told me the other day, Nunes is better than him. I'm like, you just lost your mind.
Did you see that the Nunes goal, the chip? And then people on Twitter were like, I'd like to see. I know I'm laughing at the thought of Haaland even trying this. Someone quoted it with Haaland's 52nd goal of the season. It was a chip against like West Ham or something like that.
Done it with Highland, haven't they? When Highland's better than Haaland. When it should be, he's £30 million more than him.
Yeah, fact. How you paid more for him?
You paid nearly double his transfer fee. I want him to be better.
A big professional coat, man.
But yeah, professional, man. You got a lot of jobs at this point. He says, or AK850 says, one effing match at a time. And tomorrow's match redemption time, angry reaction, I hope, against Brentford at home. Myself and Jordan will do a pre-match build-up tomorrow afternoon at some point.
Right.
We've got about 5-10 minutes left. I want to touch in on this subject just because I find it entertaining. I like talking about this guy because his saga does intrigue me. Manchester City have reportedly made contact with Kylian Mbappe's representatives. Mbappe. Is he coming to Manchester City, Martin?
Tell us, ITK Martin. Tell us the good news.
No, he won't come.
Oh.
Have they made contact? I was told they have. Doesn't mean they're going to get him because I think every club's probably going to make contact with him now. You're going to wait. By the way, he's in the last 6 months, so he can talk with whoever he frigging wants outside of France right now.
They'll be getting every offer from every club.
Yeah.
To see what's best for him, to see how much money he can make. I mean, to be fair though, at this point, would he even be asked how much money he makes? He's just made an absolute cash off PSG and leaving on a free.
I'll put it this way: we're probably the best situated club in England to get him if he did want to come to England.
Imagine the piss it'd boil.
But I don't want him. No,
I don't.
It's one of them. I don't want him. But if he turned up in a blue shirt, I'd be behind him. Because I do believe if any manager could change the egotistical git, it's Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
But I don't want him.
I think he'd boil a lot of piss, as you say, and I think he'd boil Pep's piss as well. I just think he'd.
We do so much more than just looking at the player and its abilities. It's about his head, how he's gonna be in that dressing room with the other players. There's a lot in like personality wise in there. They're not gonna want to upset the apple cart, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? They don't want our dressing room getting dusted by getting someone with an Mbappe ego, and the way that we've all seen like some of the clips where thinks he's boss man on the pitch. You know what I mean?
Someone don't pass.
Yeah. Oh my! Do you remember that when he just stopped running because he wouldn't pass to him? And then was it Messi? And he went forward and then he played a ball across the box. And if Mbappe would have carried on his run, it would have been a tapping for him. It's just like, mate, you were meant to be there.
You saw how Pep dealt with Cancelo. If you thought Cancelo was badly behaved,
yeah,
he was asked about him today and he didn't deny it.
Mbappe?
No, Pep.
Yeah, about Mbappe.
Yeah, he was asked about it. He didn't deny it. He just said he's a good player. And he's got a good future in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to read into it too much. I'm going to be consistent with what I've said all along regarding Mbappe.
I'm trying to get Hugh on the train.
Yeah, you're trying to get him hyped up here.
You're not getting me on the Mbappe train. I've said all along about Haaland to Madrid that I don't think that'll happen eventually because I don't think Mbappe and Haaland will want to play together. I don't think it's within their interest commercially. Just profile-wise, I don't think it's within their interest to share the limelight. I think they're meant to be going head-to-head. That's what creates the debates. That's what creates the money. Equally, that's why I don't think Mbappe... It's one of the reasons why Mbappe won't come to Manchester City. I don't think Mbappe will want to share a team with Haaland. I don't think their brands will want to collide. I just think it's within their interest to be challenging for Ballon d'Ors, challenging for the major honours. He could come to England. Where? I don't know. Chelsea obviously have the cash. They could. That Todd Bowley's crazy enough. He could try pull the trigger on it. Would he go to Chelsea? I don't know. Let's be real. All roads lead to Real Madrid for Kylian Mbappe, don't they?
Yeah, I do think he'll be Madrid. Yeah. Up to, but I suppose it's one of them. There's no harm in asking.
No harm in asking.
People know.
Yeah.
We were all sat in the restaurant last night talking with people.
So you do it. Like I said, they'll be having them conversations because he's one of the best talents in world football.
Yeah,
you're gonna be going
not to at least know what would it take? Because you'd be really daft if you didn't just have that one little 10-minute chat, half an hour chat. What would it be?
Because you don't know what's going to come out. It might come out of that a lot more positive than what they initially thought, and it might be a bit like, you know what, Mbappe wants it. Mbappe actually wants to work under Pep, and then suddenly Pep goes, right, all right, and let's have a conversation with Mbappe myself. Let's see where his head's at, and then do you know what I mean? Then it'll start build. And I don't want to get anyone gassed for it because I don't think it'll happen.
No.
But it's not out of the realms of football when a player like Mbappe is available on a free.
Okay, let me switch it round.
Us to go.
Did you two honestly think? I know we all did later on, but when Madrid were pushing hard for Haaland, did any part of you think he's off to Madrid?
Nope.
Nah.
You always thought, see, no, it's fine. I'm only asking because I know there was some City fans who were like, if Madrid come in, Madrid are getting Haaland. And I was like,
there was just something different about Haaland, though, wasn't there? It was like the whole his dad played for City and the photos of him wearing City kits, and
I think that was it. Yeah, I mean, I always thought. I think I had about 2 weeks when I thought, oh, Madrid could. Do you remember when he was doing that? That when he was going round, and was it his father and his agent who sadly passed away now? Were going round all the clubs around Europe having meetings.
Yeah,
maybe Mbappe's doing that. He's just finding out. It'll come out next week. Liverpool have made a move, and they've had a meeting, or Arsenal have had a meeting, and United have had a meeting, and they'll say Barcelona's had a meeting, and they've not got a pot to piss in. I don't know what they're buying it with. You know, amusement arcade tokens. I don't know what they're giving him, but they'll sit and have a meeting with him.
Every big club in the world will throw their hat in the ring because if there's also an image to maintain. You want to maintain the big club status, big club image. You need to be seen to be hovering around the best players in the world. Like United will definitely throw their name in the hat. That Omar Barada will want to make a statement as soon as he gets in the door at Manchester United. Not many bigger statements than signing Kylian Mbappe.
Situation. Sorry, Jordan, but you know what I mean. When Ronaldo was being linked.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry, Jordan. Yo, yeah, we committed. I like saying them in diverse zone. Bro, I will never live that down, yeah. That travelled further than any other thing that's happened on City Extra. We was getting death threats for that off United fans.
No, it's what I mean. We were at least, we were in a conversation. I think Mbappe's just like that. We've probably had a chat, seeing what it is. Because it could be lower than what you think. And Mbappe may go, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing that. And then the conversation gets more serious.
Someone on the Big Six said last week, I can't remember who it was, that they read or they heard that he can't technically go on a free. There's something in his latest contract that he signed that if he's to leave, he has to pay some sort of compensation, or the club have to pay some sort of compensation for losing Kylian Mbappe. It's really complex. I'm not going to claim to know the ins and outs, but I don't think you can technically get Mbappe without a fee being paid to some other organization. And obviously,
imagine it though, Mel. You can imagine in 6 months' time, we're going to be found probably innocent of these charges.
Yeah.
And we could get Mbappe and sign KDB, Pep Guardiola, and Haaland's contract extensions. Could you imagine the boiling down streams?
It would, honestly. It'd suddenly be every other team in crisis.
The reality is, if City really want to, they could get close to making it happen. Now, obviously, it all depends on what he wants. If he just really wants Real Madrid, you're kind of out of the picture at that point, isn't it? But if he's kind of like, you know what, I want Real Madrid, but I'd listen to whatever other people are saying. City can make it happen. We got the bag, man. You know what I mean? We have the resources to make Kylian Mbappe happen if we really wanted to. But the club will have to think about a lot of things, and his personality and his ego, that's just one of the facets they'll think of. Then, of course, there's the wage structure. The fucker's simply going to have to lower his wages down. City ain't paying him $1 million or 1.2 million a week.
No,
that's not happening.
Yeah, the guy's on like 1.1 million.
I don't think anyone will pay that. I don't think Real Madrid will.
No. I think he just rinsed PSG for everything.
Which one is he with? Is it Nike? Who's he with?
Is it Nike's win? Yeah, I think he's sponsored by
Nike. I bet you see something like Nike will pay whoever club he goes to next. Some of those. So like Sane has that. Was it with Adidas? Done it at Bayern, where they pay so much of his wages down there.
Oh, is it? That's pretty mad. I didn't know that.
So I'm sure. I'm sure whoever gets him, I bet he'll come out and Nike will be doing something.
I think as well, what you got to look at is, as a player, it is very smart if you're leaving on a free to go and go to all these other clubs. Go to as many as possible, because say if it is in his head, all he actually wants is Real Madrid. If they're turning around and going, yeah, we got all these clubs who are offering me this, they're all offering me this, it's just going to put the pressure on Real Madrid to put their prices up, to put Mbappe's wages up that little bit more, make their offer the best offer, not the ones that he's had from City and everywhere else. Like, it just makes sense for him to do that. Like, and his agent probably doing that. Like, business-wise, they will get more money out of it by basically touring the clubs.
Pep wanted him at Monaco. That's all I'll say.
We'll have to see, lads. We'll have to see.
He likes him. It's not a. All I'd say is, I do 100% don't want it to happen. I don't think it will happen, but it's not out of the realms of, possibility that we could.
We could, and no doubt, the closer we get to the summer and the transfer window opening as well, you're going to hear a lot about our name being linked to Mbappe. You're going to hear a lot about a load of clubs being linked to Mbappe. So get strapped in, and we'll try and keep you up to date as best as possible regarding Mbappe and everything else, really. But we just hit the hour mark. LB 1998, goldfish would drown in his mum's basement. Yeah, Goldbridge. This can't be allowed. This is unfair. No.
He's done another crisis video, hasn't
he? Yeah. I'm not
Is it me or United winning games again?
I know. I mean, when you type in Man City in crisis on YouTube, it's all Goldbridge. There's loads of them. There's loads of them. He knows. Yeah, he knows. It's
iconic. He knows
it's easy. It's easy cash for him. It's an easy cash because he knows that it baits people. It baits City fans into it to watching it because they're going, "Why is he saying this? We only lost one match. How are we reacting?" When in reality, it's a 10-minute video that he can just make cash off. Each one of them videos gets like 200,000 views, so it's easy.
He uploaded it a day ago. It's on 188k.
Yeah, people
stop clicking on it. Don't watch. Don't give the guy the interactions. He's a total wanker. Stop giving him the time.
It's just bait money. It's easy money for him.
Listen, anyways, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Is there a redirect on this to Martin's? Is it scheduled?
There is.
Yes. So there is a redirect going to take you straight from this stream that will bring you over to Martin's stream live at, say, halftime, Martin, or 10? 10. So Martin will be doing more talk.
Early tonight.
Yeah.
So go over to the Mancunian Way, show Martin love, subscribe over there. I think we're 12 subscribers here away from 86k. So if 12 of you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and help us get to 86k. Hit the like button on the stream. Hit the like button if you're watching on playback. Leave all your comments down below. Let us know what you think. We do read through them. And we'll see you tomorrow, myself and Jody Porty, with a bit of a pre-match build-up. We're going to give our thoughts properly on Brentford, do a predicted 11, all that good stuff. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing you all then. Good night. Oh, please come to the Big Six and back me up, please.
There's a huge cry for help. Please.
See you, people. Good night.